All right, everybody, and welcome into the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway series. My name is James Riles. I am up here in the booth on my own tonight, hoping to show you guys some amazing super speedway action as we are just about ready to wrap up qualifying. We got 2.5 minutes left. Chris Worrell on the top, Ryan Dega behind him, David Kitts sitting there in third with James Lowe in 5th place currently, but Zach Bowerman out there just about finishing his race in what I believe to be a Miley Cyrus car. Very interesting. As Greg McConey's going to be finding his way around, but not to get straight into business, folks. I am glad that you're here. Glad you're watching the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway series here on our YouTube Esports Broadcasting Network. First off, again, guys, thank you. Let me know where you're watching from, who you are here to watch, and I'll be sure and give those guys some extra screen time just for that, just for you guys since you're special. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and just let us know what we can do for you to make this show a little bit better. So as we're going to get started, as we are about to get started here, folks, just want to say it's been an exciting start to the season, as you can expect for a super speedway series. Last week saw a darn close race, but a dude's 1-2 finish. Gonna see, in contrast a little bit to the race we had last season, where Ball's Energy just walked away with it, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't see any balls out guys in the chat. Actually, we've got a couple. They may be VFL Racing for now. Seeing what's going on there, but we do have one of our buddies, Frank, in the booth, or not in the booth, but Frank in the race tonight. So we got about 15 seconds before we get started. Of course, the Circle B Diecast series is brought to you by a host of really great sponsors here. Keep an eye on Nicholas. About to go around the course. Of course, Midwest Motor Customs, ROWDY Energy, another one that helps them out, iracingiflag, and buttkicker, and of course their title sponsor, CircleBDiecast.com. Talk more about them later, but they can do some really cool stuff for you. Give them a holler. So we've got the Next Gen Cup cars here today, straight out of the shop. It is gonna be a good one as everybody's getting gridded up. We'll give them a couple seconds to do so. Man, it's gonna be a good one. That's all I can say. This is gonna be wild. This is gonna be interesting. This is the first time I will be seeing the updated package that they have for the Next Gen Cup cars. So, interesting move there. We're going to race Xfinity here. That's what they like to do, but I guess they did some testing, and these were the ones to go through. So, just to go over the grid before we get started up here, we got Chris Worrell in the 6 machine, Balls Garana Energy Drink driver. There we go. So, they are here. They're just not in the correct team chat. That's all right. Ryan Decker there sitting at number 3 is going to be starting in the outside row. Then we got Greg McConey with the Roush Fenway. Love that number 12 machine sitting in 3rd. 4th, we got David Kitts. We got the 67 car, Joe Gautier, in that Cancer Sucks 67. As it does. James Lowe there in the Balls Garana 99. Row 4 is going to be Frank Marchese, I'm sorry, it's not Marchese, geez Louise. In the Rusty Wallace throwback. See that there on his outside is going to be Zach Bowerman. Brian Tarnowski in the 55 there with the Trisha's Hope for Stacy. That is Brian's wife, unfortunately, battling cancer right now. So our thoughts and prayers obviously go out to Brian and Stacy in that 55 machine. Looking real good. So then we got Josh Carver in the 33 Dodge reskin of the Ford. I like to see it. Then in 11th position, we've got Jimmy Green in the 23 Bud Light. Then we got the 29 Let's not hold that Tennessee Volunteers paint scheme against him, guys. In the 12th place. Then we got in the 7th row is going to be Brandon Wilson in 13th. And then Shane Ward in 14th. 15th is going to be Patrick Clapp there in the 65 machine. Then we have Ed DeBoer in the scored there in the 16. Then we got 17's Adam McKinney, Dusty Burkhart, Nicholas Wing, Jason Papp, John Lombard, and then Marcus Adams leading you guys around. Only one that did not grade up is Shane Warren. He's going to be starting from the back as we are about to get started, guys. I'm going to let you hear the roar of these engines in the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Just about to go green, folks. Stick around. All right, folks, we heard those next-gen motors. Now we're going to see how well they go as the pace car dips down. It's on Chris Worrell to start this thing off here at Talladega. Reminding you, we have that long front stretch, so psyched me out for a little bit there, but I came around to it. 75 laps here today in Talladega. Come around the tri-oval. We're going to see just where that spot they're looking to hit is. Green flag anytime now. Chris Worrell in the 6 machines got the go ahead. He's going to get rolling. Greg McConey going to get right behind him and start pushing as we are racing, race fans. Here we go. Everybody rolling pretty easily. It looks like James Lowe. Was that James Lowe or who is that up there? That's David Kitts on the high side. You saw the action getting a little bit pushed out. But what we've been hearing from NASCAR drivers and their test at Daytona in the Superspeedway with this package, the rack and pinion steering up front takes a lot of getting used to. It's very instantaneous. A lot more twitchy than you would expect from previous iterations of those NASCAR machines. As you see, Jason Papp says, I refuse to move my number forward. Let's see what Jason Papp's got going on here in the 1 machine. Keeps it right there up front like the Rebel. I think NASCAR is going to fine him for that, but I don't mind it. I like the 1 there. He says, I won my race last week. You ain't going to tell me a gosh darn thing until I'm not the champion. So there he goes. Chris Worrell and Ryan Decker absolutely plowing in that thing. Number 3, let's go on board, see what he's looking like as far as temperature goes. Oh, as we cannot see the temperature. Very unfortunate there. See the RPMs and the gear, but no temperature, as he is absolutely laying it down on that number 6 machine of Chris Worrell. Back in the back, Frank Marchese says, I'm getting out of here. I don't want nothing to do with it. He's going to drop to the back along with Josh Carver. Brandon Wilson was another one. Shane Ward, who started from the pits, is all out on his lonesome. There is some movement in the middle. Zach Bowerman in the Miley Cyrus machine, if that's the 9. I don't know what that is, but I like it. You do you, boo-boo. Zach Bowerman in the holding it down. David Kitt's trying to get something going up front with the 12 machine. Greg McConey, who was way farther up, but after some issues, he's going to be stuck there. Again, guys, let us know who you're rooting for. I already got two. Jason Papp, I bet he's rooting for himself. And then we got Jonathan Leach saying, hey, give it to my boy Frank Marquise. I gotta learn his name. I mean, he's my coworker. I gotta learn his name, because he is very slowed down. I don't know what's going on with that machine, because he's kind of fallen out of the draft there. Maybe some issues with that number 2 machine. Jason Papp, another one. I don't know. I must have missed something, folks. Go ahead and look through our spot here. I don't think Papp would have. Let's see here what happened. So this is where everything kind of broke away. See Frank get a little bit low there. I want to see where Papp is at in all this. This was back on lap 3. Very interesting. I don't know if they just lost the draft. But you know what we do have? We have the advantage of having Frank work with us. Let's go grid. Let's go grab Frank. One-man booth. Why not? Frank, I hope I didn't pull you away in some sort of intense discussion here. Can you have a second to talk with me? No, you're sitting in the back. Kind of tell us what happened there. I must have missed. Gotcha. So are these handling pretty odd outside the draft there? All right, well, I'll let you get back to it, man. Just wanted to see what the heck was going on. Make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, good luck, Frank. That was Frank. We talked to him. He, as he said, just got a little bit out of the draft, and that's what's going to happen. They're tailgating. Vicky Copeland, maybe. He's trying to hang back. Let's see if anything happens here. Up front, Marcus Adams. Chris Worrell, James Lowe. These things not wanting to handle as well. Usually we don't see this kind of racing where it's just single file. But as we've seen, these massive rear spoilers of both the Gen 6s and as of Sunday. Once Sunday hits, we can't call these things the next gen anymore, guys. These are the current gen, the Gen 7s. But these huge back spoilers, what they do, let me get a good shot for you guys. What these back spoilers do is they really put a lot of air displacement, and it throws that air up. Let's see here. We do have a yellow somewhere. We're in the back. We'll get back to it. We'll cover this later. Bear with me, folks. Jimmy Green involved in that one. Let's see what happened. As that's the 23 machine. Oh, he's in the front there, just gets hooked by the 33 of Josh Carver. Very unfortunate there. That is not what you want to see here, folks. Because that's going to put us under our first caution. Marcus Adams going to come down pit road to avoid something or possibly a little fake out. It's him entering pit road. As he went flying through the pits. Now, what was going on with that? As he is off track. Not sure what is going on with the 31 machine. Shoot, let's get him in here. As I do not see Marcus in the Discord. Very puzzling, folks. Gonna be an interesting race. Not sure what was going on with that. Marcus Adams having a bit of a episode there. 6 machine, Chris Worrell gonna bring it down pit road in the 6 machine. How many times I can say 6 machine? James Lowe gonna beat everybody else out with a fantastic pit stop. Ryan Decker there in 3rd. Joe Gautier in 4th, and we'll be right back, folks. Take a look at this paint scheme on the 5. All we All right, folks, I am back. Pace car gonna take that dip down pit road. James Lowe this time gonna have the button in the 99 balls on an energy drink. Ryan Decker still there in second. He's been in this position before. This is where he started. As the three machines gonna be looking out his driver's side window to see when James Lowe go. He can go pretty much whenever he wants to. Here we go. Green flag is out. Three car getting into the 99 a little bit, going down, trying to get a little bit closer. We're going to see if that's going to cause any problems throughout. As Ryan Decker getting a little bit too close for comfort, as I don't think he knew where he was, and that steering we just saw have its way with the three machine here at Talladega. So doubled up. Everybody has a chance now. Frank is back in the mix with things. 4 wide in the back. They're trying to find a way to get up front where they want to be. As now the 33 getting pushed by Brian Tarnowski there in the 55. As this is shaping up to be an interesting middle of the race, as the 7 is just pushing everything out of the 55. We'll see if the 99 is going to push as hard on the 3. But the way that restart went, I don't know if he's going to be as good of friends, as he did get into him a little bit there. And that high line may be sensing some of the same, as everybody going to that high line, as the push from the 7 is just too much, as they're going to be taking it 3 wide. There we go, another balls driver taking it 3 wide here down the front stretch. That's going to be enough to get Brian Tarnowski down in front of the 3. Now the Balls Energy group going to come down. That's not going to be enough for the 29 to make it. 7 goes around. 7 goes around, glued to the track. We're going to see if anybody else was involved. See a little bit of damage. That's just the paint job. Disregard. On the 23 machine, 7 just going to get it faced in the right direction. Man. There you go, folks. It's David Kitts in the 7 machine, having a really good race up to that point. And how many times does a bad push happen is that 9 machine just gets out around him. And I don't know if that's going to be what we're going to see in real life, but geez Louise, the work that did. Take a look. Look at those flaps come up, work exactly like they're supposed to. Keep that car glued to the track. Everybody able to get by, no incidents, as Frank makes a heck of a save. As that car was not unsettled through that entire spin. Again, hopefully that's what we see. Let's see Frank's view of all this. He just barely gets that thing settled down there in 5th gear. Love to see it. As more coming down pit road. With as squatted as this thing down, as the 6 misses his box a little bit, gonna have to back up into that, and that's not gonna be good for Chris Forel. Those staying out, Brian Tarnowski, Greg McConey, Joe Gautier, Jason Papp, and Brendan Wilson. They say 5 laps was not enough for them to have to consider coming down pit road. Jason is still celebrating. I assume that's talking about the yellow flag that Jason got, and I do not doubt for a second that he is excited to get that yellow, as this one doesn't help out too many people. David Kitts, I'm sure, is excited to not be destroyed. Let's see if we can pull up David Kitts. Hey, David, it's James in the booth. You got me. Hey, so taking a look at that 7 machine, the flaps did their job and you were able to stay out of trouble. Were you surprised that you were as stuck to the track as you were? Definitely. Well, I'll be the one to tell you if you don't have a spotter, you do some front right damage and a little bit of left rear, but it definitely could have been much worse, as the safety precautions definitely helping you out there. When you get up there, are you going to have any hard feelings, or are we just racing? Definitely. So what I'm hearing out of these cars, and then I'll let you go here, but steering being an issue. Definitely. Well, you got one more to go. Good luck for the rest of the night, sir. Looking forward to seeing you work through everybody. So that was David Kitts in the 7 machine as he was going around. Yeah, I can't get over the fact that you see that in a Gen 6 or anything else. They are not going to be the first thing that happens when you put the back of the car coming down the track the wrong way at 180 miles an hour is it gets a little bit squirrely, as you could assume, but these Cup cars stayed pretty glued down. As Brian Tarnowski going to lead him around for the first time. The 3 of Ryan Decker's not going to be there on his right side. The 17 laps of 75 out of the way here today, folks. Hope you're enjoying your Friday. We do have the Kool-Aid Monster League over on the other Kool-Aid Man Monster League, or yeah, gonna kill me until I go over there. Ah, Frank, he's inaudible on your stream. That's because I am a doofus and didn't turn on the cables correctly. There we go. So David Kitts just trying to work through the field. He thinks there's no hard feelings. Luckily, he was able to not use his fast repair. Next time I've got it fixed, you will be able to hear them as we get rolling here. Turns 3 and 4. Brian gonna have the button. This long Talladega front stretch is gonna take this time and tell you to get a hold of our guys over at Circle B Diecast. Guys and gals over there. If you want to get a gift for your loved one that races an iRacing league, or you're a league owner and wants to get a trophy made up or something special for your league winner, points leader, whatever it may be, go for Circle B Diecast. You can send them your TGA file for the car that you want to be a diecast. They will make it for you, send it out, custom. They do really good work. I know I have gotten a car before, and they're great. They can also do limited late models, dirt cars. If you want a diecast of a dirt car, they're the place to go. Go check them out. They've also got some pre-made stuff. It's the only place I buy diecasts. As here we go, Brian Tarnowski. Green flag is out. You can hear him hit the loud pedal. Greg McConey on the outside gets a really good jump with Jason Papp, the dude's teammate there on his outside. As there we go, it's rolling. Brian Tarnowski stuck like he's standing still on the bottom. Is there going to be a rough room for Papp? McConey thinks there's not, so he's going to go back up and help the teammate, but you do not want to be stuck in that position for too long. There he goes. Not going to be indecisive. He's going to come down, and hopefully the teammate can get by him and make his turn, as we've got the Balls energy drink driver of Chris Worrell. They're pushing him. So look, we're seeing it's hard to anticipate what these guys are going to be, where they're going to be. It's now that 29 volunteer machine pushing the 6. Oh, he's going to leave the 6 out to dry. Takes the 65 with him on the bottom. Just a matter of how hard can you push in these machines to make something happen. Now we got Chris Worrell, James Lowe up there, Ryan Decker in the 3 machine, sitting 3rd for now. Austin Collins in the 29 on the bottom. Joe Gautier, of course, Patrick Clapp, Nicholas Wing, Jason Papp. So just talk a little bit about the number 1 machine, as there's absolutely pandemonium there in the middle of this thing. Papp on the bottom. Just from looking at it, I can see Nicholas Wing, John Lombard, Brian Tarnowski. See how far he has fallen just holding it on that yellow line. Because this is blowing me away, folks. They're still not got this figured out up front. 67 machine. Papp on the outside. Gets... Oh, boy. That was close to taking the 65 out. Farther on down the road, issues. That's the 7 machine of David Kitts again. Jeez. Kitts just gets up into the 90, 95. He's going to drop back and have another issue. You hate it for Kitts. As it looked like that rear, you can kind of see in that rear well how far out it sticks. And he caught that wrong on the 90. Just went for a ride. Let's get one more angle. There's a lot of netcode went into that as well. The Levi Garrett machine of the 90. Like to see that. Levi Garrett throwing it back. Netcode rearing its ugly head. Nicholas Wink, a little bit of damage. So folks, on our 3rd caution of the night, we're going to go ahead and let it go to a quick break for the broadcaster. Stick around. All right, we are back here looking at the number 501 of Brandon Wilson. They're in first position. A little bit about Brandon for you guys. Guard. I will tell you about Jason Papp, our leader, as we have had a shout out for him already. Works, he's a manager, runs 2 storage businesses in his after work and lunch break, so he's a hustler. We already saw that last week with his win. 7-year-old boy, it is his world. I can see that. If I ever go quiet for too long, I'm probably putting my 5-year-old down to bed. So, biggest iRacing win was when he did a league versus league superspeedway event in 2021 against 2 other leagues. Jason's father passed away right before the practice, so something told me that he would told him, I'm sorry, that his dad would want to just go out there and race and get his mind off of everything and take a break, and got the win for his dad there. So with wins as few and far as they are between for everybody, he says he truly believes that his father helped him win that one and get a little bit of relief, at least from the mental aspect of losing a loved one there in 2001. So Jason, excited for the win last week, I'm sure, and hopefully able to take what he learned in these next-gen cars and get here in the 11th. And I know Dad's watching here today upstairs. Go, getting back to racing as that Chevrolet I-Pacing truck is going to get down under the apron. Everybody's going to make their way through the tri-oval. The 501 is going to have the button here. We're going to take a look at it on board from the 99 machine at James Lowe, as they've been giving us some really good looks. Just hear this thing purr. That sequential box working its hardest in 4th gear, but wait, there's more. 5 gears in these things, so a little bit more skill to than there initially was at the Super Speedway. We are 3 wide. While I was on board with him, everybody decided they want a little bit of something here on lap 24. Going into 25. As the 501 being the first one so far that's able to stick it on the bottom during a restart, get some good shifts, a lot of margin for error there. He was able to overcome that. But I don't think this is going to be good for long, folks. As there we already see Brian Tarnowski on the bottom still. Everybody shuffling around, getting moved. As we're 3 wide back there with Greg McConey up top. That Midwest Motor Customs owner, operator, graphics. Holler at Greg. He can get you taken care of. You can search Facebook for Midwest Motor Customs. He is in that 12 machine he painted himself, I'm sure. John Lombard falling back in the 95 machine. 6 machine of Chris Worrell has been moved around a lot. Up front, Austin Joe Gautier in the 67 machine, involved in some stuff earlier, was able to find his way to the front with Ryan Decker pushing him. This is the first time since that restart that Brandon Wilson had to relinquish his first-time position. 3 going to get stuck up front on his own on the high line, going to get dragged back to where Brian Tarnowski is. That's going to stall that middle line out. Is now the 3 machine having to deal with it. Lots of changes here happening. They're going to have to bail. Brandon Wilson moving up to the middle line. They're going to go around him. That's going to be Frank Marchese of the SRM, one of our guys here that we love to listen to. Best in the business as far as commentary, if you ask me. Also, best SDK builder, man. This guy is that he does it all. We are excited to have him back on board with us here at Sim Racing Media and Esports Broadcasting Network. As Brandon Wilson back up there, he was able to make that middle line work. Get some good guys behind him. Now he's on the way to getting up to Jason Papp. What do y'all think about this racing, folks? Let us know in the chat, in the comments. We like to keep an eye on them. I know we got a fan of Jason Papp in the booth, as always. Oh, somebody's in the wall. Dusty Burkhart, it looked like, getting up into the wall. That's going to stall that top line out a little bit. The 12 of McConey going to come out with Brian, I'm sorry, that's not Brian Tarnowski, is that Zach Bowerman. Leaving our boy Frank out to dry in the middle. About 28 to 75 here. As Ryan Decker has Chris Worrell. Man, you can't count these guys out. It's been back and forth all race long. We talked about Chris Worrell being in 10th about 2 laps ago. As it is so easy to get short speed runs, but so hard to capitalize in a way that is meaningful. So we're 3 wide there for 5th. So Chris Worrell is going to take it. Leave Frank up top. Folks, this is Daytona. Talladega, jeez Louise. It's not even Daytona, James. Come on now. This is Talladega. This is what you get used to seeing. So as we talk about the Super Speedway Series, as we got some action going on the course, I'll let you guys follow that. We are at Talladega in the next gens right now. 75 laps, 75% fuel. Next week, on the 11th, same time, same place, you can catch us. They're going to be at the Daytona course during the day with the Xfinity machines. 75 laps there. Then they're going to have an off week on the 18th. Daytona at night in the Xfinity on the 25th. And then Talladega, then another off week till their midway season. As far as the results, of course, last week, Jason Papp taking home the win in the 1 machine. Brandon Wilson coming in second, 5:01. Ed Bauer in 15th. And Connor Trafari, who is not in the race today. Connor Trafari in 4th. Marcus Adams in 5th. Brian Tarnowski in 6th. Dusty Burkhart 7th. Patrick Clapp there in 8th. Scotty Grove in 9th. And Zach Bowerman in 10th. There was a lot more action. Not action, this is action-packed racing, but there was a lot more sparks, I should say, then. Overall, the driver who finished first, or started first, finished 4th. Other than that, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, all outside the top 10. A lot of issues during that race that had to be lined out. Overall, some bonus points also. Marcus Adam led 1 more laps. But John Creighton, at the fastest lap of the race, led a lap. Pat, of course, most position gained. He gained 20. Started in either last or close. He led the most laps out of everything. And had 1 more left. Shout out to Connor Trafari. Who, again, I don't believe he's in here. For at the Daytona race, having 0 incidents. Very interesting. So, folks. Yes, Vicky, Jason's doing a fantastic job here in the series. He is locked in. What does being locked in mean here? It means that the number one machine can take some chances. The Super Speedway series, you really want to go out there and get that win because A, it locks you in to the playoffs. You don't have to worry about having a run of bad luck. That is very possible to have at a Super Speedway. Have them do that every single race, and you start to see why it's important to get done. Get that win in, put it under your belt, make sure you're good to go. And you're not going to have any unexpected stuff pop up later on. I have seen, talked with Greg McConey a couple weeks ago, last week I think, talking about the next gens. Greg said the runs you get are massive. If you tandem draft good enough, you can get away from the pack, but you can also blow up a lot easier, he says, in these too. That's why you don't see them just locking up and going around the course as fast as they can. Otherwise, they'll get into an issue where they burn that motor up. Look at the 69 back there. I know what you're saying, James. I can look at it if you point the camera there. 69 stuck in the middle with you. There's a 67 making a hard turn down the bottom. He sees a whole bottom lane open that he wants. That's Joe Gautier. We'll see if anything's doing there. And that top line has had such a run. Joe's going to really need somebody to suck up to his back bumper, and that somebody's going to be Frank Marchese, as I think I've pronounced that wrong every single time that I've said it, which is amazing given how many times I've said it. It's been a new iteration of wrong every time. He's going to jump to the top. Nothing doing. He says, Joe, I can't help you if you don't help yourself. You got to get out of that air. Up front, Brandon Wilson in the 501. He takes the run with the bottom. Greg McConey goes with him. And it still stalls out. What are we seeing here, folks? Usually the bottom line is the way to go at a super speedway, but these Gen 6s, or Gen 7s, next gens, have an absolutely interesting physics where that top line has enough momentum, it's gone. Think about every time that a car gets it on the bottom, they have to fight that initial rush of air on their front bumper that's really slowing them down. And if you can't get organized back there, like they're just going to leave Greg right out in the middle there as we're turning. The Tennessee Vols car goes around of Zach Bowerman in it. Jimmy Green. They're going to stay green, as that was quite the interesting deal there with, that was, man, I can't even find the car. Austin Collins. So Austin Collins now gets stuck out of the draft after he rode the wall in a very unintentional manner. We are going to take a quick, I'm going to see if I can find that. Stick around. As here we go. The 29 just very interesting. Austin Collins up there pushing. The 3 just gets a little bit loose into him, pushes him up into that wall. Able to keep it going though. 29, Austin Collins still in this thing. No caution yet. As now Chris Worrell is up front, still pushing that high line as hard as he can get it. Greg McConey there in the middle trying to find anyone, paging anyone in the chat. Hey guys, help me out here. Give me a push. We got to lock up if we want a chance. As we're seeing some breakaways as well. Back to Adam McKinney, who is the last one in this lead pack. We have Zach Bowerman, Ryan Decker, Austin Collins, the 3 that were involved in that issue. They're going to have to put aside their differences for the time being and work together. Jason Papp fell out of the draft. He's about 22 seconds back. Nicholas Wing, David Kitts, and John Lombard, the other group that was involved in that issue. They're going a little bit slower, having to pack up. So interesting turn of events here, folks. It's broken up into parts. Let's say we go on board with Greg McConey as he tries to get this thing going. And what do you say, folks? What do you say we turn it up? As folks, I can't believe what I'm seeing here in these next-gen Cup cars. The run, the safe run, is on the high side. Folks, what you're seeing is Greg McConey passing on the outside and everyone else having to guard as if you were on the inside line. So all the passes Greg McConey has made up to 4th, I believe he was in 8th when we started following him, have been because someone went too low as opposed to too high. So here we go. He's got a run on the bottom on the 65 machine, and he's not going to get let back up, which is such a weird thing to say. He's going to have to find a spot. There he goes, throws it in front of the 57, thinks of it a little bit better, as the 67 not having any of it. As I don't think I could have picked a better angle to show you just how absurd this racing is now the 13 going to try and not get his momentum blocked. He's got to get back up into the preferred line, which is the high line. Folks, tell me in the chat, have you guys ever seen any racing like this as Greg McConey gives the chrome horn to the 13? As you can tell. You can tell, guys, when you're seeing this, guys and gals. These drivers, their first instinct is to try and, if they have a run, go low. And time again, that is not working. They don't have the speed to stay with Chris Worrell and James Lowe, the two Balls teammates. As we got a couple takers down pit road, Frank Marchese and Brandon Wilson deciding to come down. Yeah, Zerko says, I just don't think there's enough people on the low side to make that the preferred line. And I agree. There's just not, but we saw 3-4 car breakaways on the bottom, which in any other car would be enough to get you ahead, because that is the shorter part of the racetrack. That 2.5 miles is measured from the yellow line. Anything above that, you're putting more wear and tear, more fuel. According to my understanding of movement, gonna be longer. That's not what we're seeing here. The momentum is overcoming that deficit that you get. As they're back there, high line just rocking and rolling. Love to see it. Love to see a little bit of diversity here. You know, usually this is the bottom line dominant. So there we go. We got 3. Who knows if they're going to stay down there. Adam McKinney. I believe Brian Tarnowski's down there with them. So finally, we have 3 cars that are willing to stick with it long enough to make something happen. That's the 67 of Joe Gautier, Greg McConey, and Brian Tarnowski. Finally getting together and saying, hey, if we're going to have a chance at this thing, we need a bottom line, especially coming up on the pit window. 75% fuel here. Everybody last pitted at lap 21. So based on Frank and Wilson, they were going to have to come down anyways. They're going to have to go up there, and there they go. They break it up. They break up the bottom line and go to that preferred top there. Chris Worrell, James Lowe sticking it there. Yeah, I'm almost at a loss for words. Someone else. Let's talk about Chris Worrell, our leader right now in the 6 machine. He says, and these are his words, folks. His words, not mine. He says, I'm the best to ever do it. In quotation marks, whatever that means. It's also the cap in the Balls Out Racing, sponsored by James Lowe. And Austin Collins wishes. Fill in the blank was bigger. He wishes his motor was as big as mine. All right. Austin Collins is Chris Worrell's obsessed stalker. Again, not my words, folks. I just get paid to say the words on the screen, and that's what Chris Worrell wanted me to say. So there we go. And I did edit that a little bit. Balls Energy. Balls Out Racing. Yeah, that's the 501 of Brandon Wilson, and Frank Marchese gonna go a lap down. Spent 41 seconds in the pit. We're able to come out together. As it stands right now, they're gonna be the lucky dog if anything happens while these guys are trying to get down pit road. Yeah, Zorko, his motor. If you know, you know. Check out their Discord if you're interested in joining a fantastic league with a lot of good folks in it. Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. As Josh Carver, I hate this camera, Josh Carver, Adam McKinney, Jimmy Green, Ed Bauer, and Brian Tarnowski decide to take it pit side. Make sure nothing crazy goes on down pit road for these guys. as we're going to have 5 cars on the lead lap. They're going to come down pit road here, it looks like. They're working to the bottom line. A lot of the balls guys going to work together. 26 laps to go. Always got to keep an eye out and make sure they enter pit road correctly, as here they go. Use those massive brakes that are on these next gen cars. Nothing doing there. Everybody gets down correct. So Greg McConey's going to have to work with the balls guys to make this happen. I say those 2 teams because those are the only ones I really know. 2070 Racing. That's Nicholas Wing. There he is, currently in the Levi Garrett machine, lap down, unfortunately. With the teammate Ryan Decker just coming down pit road. Make sure these guys make it down correctly. They do. Everybody else is leaving. We're going to see where they line out, as the first ones to come down pit road were Brandon Wilson and Frank. But they broke up at some point. Weren't able to keep those machines together. That's going to definitely hurt them. As Greg McConey, now your effective race lead, coming off pit road. Patrick Clapp behind him, Chris Worrell, and I believe that's somebody blended up either too fast. That's a 33 of Josh Carver. Came in the lap prior. We're going to see just how big a hole these cars punch in the air, whether these guys can stay grouped up, or if we're going to see a bunch of little tandem packs that we used to see in the days of old restrictor plate racing. I believe this is the 450 horsepower package. Don't quote me on that. As they're moving around, this is apparently the race for the lead. 4 wide. Patrick Clapp in the 65 machine. Chris Worrell in the middle. Keeps it there. Jimmy Green, Greg McConey, Joe Gautier, Adam McKinney, Josh Carver. All of them folks getting in that preferred high line again, which is so odd. Well, let's go on board with this time. Brian Tarnowski. Sitting there in 55th. Well, we'll talk about Brian. Let's talk about Brian. He is the 55 machine out of, I'm gonna destroy that, Waukesha, Wisconsin. Apologize for getting that wrong. He is this year he's running Trisha's Hope, an organization which helps people with cancer financially. As everybody knows, cancer is anything and is expensive to try and help eradicate, or even palliative care. It's very expensive and hard for families. Trisha's Hope, what they do, they come in and help those people financially. They are still able to pay their bills, and that's one less thing that they really have to worry about, is scrunching together some money for some treatment. And Hawk Designs, I want to thank them for painting that truck, the Trisha's Hope truck, and the next-gen car. Pretty much everything he's going to be running. On the side note, I don't think that's the same, but that is an absolutely gorgeous pink 55 machine for Trisha's Hope. And again, thoughts and prayers out there for Stacy and Brian going through their rough time. Following that, we're going to go on board with Jimmy Green for a while. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. James Rawls in the booth here for Esports Broadcasting Network. They drive fast, I talk fast. That's what we do here. Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series well underway here. We're seeing groups form as we want to shout out the groups that support these guys. BDiecast.com, of course, talked about them. Midwest Motor Customs, talked about them. If you want some paints done, my guy Greg McCoy can hook you up. ROWDY Energy by Kyle Busch, that energy drink. I hate him, hate Kyle Busch, but I love ROWDY Energy. I wanted to not drink it despite Kyle Busch, but you know what? He's doing fine without me, so I did try it. There's actually some really good stuff there, and if you look into ROWDY Energy and what they're about, Kyle saw that the energy drinks that people had were full of sugar, nasty chemicals, taurine, all that good stuff we love and consume. And he thought, you know, I could do this a little better. ROWDY Energy does not use any of that stuff. No taurine, guarana, none of that. Uses some of the same stuff that green tea, ginseng, stuff like that. So a little bit healthier energy drink there with ROWDY Energy. Get you at your local gas station, wherever you buy energy drinks. Tell them they sent you. Tell them iRacing is sent you. Gas attendant might look at you funny, but no worries there. So, it's school time. Brought to you by iracingiflag. I'm going to go over why this is happening. You ask why, you know, in the old package, which was very aero heavy, why they didn't have what we're seeing here. A, these are less horsepower. What that means is you have to be very effective and efficient with what you're pushing, your horsepower, all 450 horses up. And this group up front is being very efficient. They're staying in. What that means is Patrick Clapp has to worry about pushing through the air. Imagine the air in front of him, visualize it. As it moves over the car, some of it's going to hit that front grille, that front bumper, everything there. It's going to push to the brakes. But what it's doing is it's creating drag. The essence of speed is removing drag. So, the cars behind him, the 6 machine, the 99 of James Lowe, Josh Carver, that's a different, got a lap car in there, Austin Collins. These cars do not have to contend with that drag because the 65 is the first one through. He's kind of pushing through that air and displacing it. Especially see how large that rear bumper is. What's happening is that rear bumper, very aggressive, is throwing all that air up. So the other vehicles in that line do not have to worry about using their horsepower to push through it. Well, if that was the case, the 65 would just get ran over by them, and then it would just go on and on and on. But the 6 machine of Chris Worrell, this is not a parasitic relationship. This is what you call in biology a symbiotic relationship. Chris Worrell is then using that extra horsepower that he's getting from not having to push through that air to get up to the back bumper of Patrick Clapp and give him little bumps every now and then. So those two cars are essentially working as one, double the horsepower, double the fun. Of course, it's not double the horsepower, but you know what I mean. So the more organized they are, the faster they are going to be because every car there benefits from that first machine getting in line, and then he has exponentially more help the longer they stay in line because there's no drag on that entire formation. In contrast, this group back here, led by Josh Carver, Ed DeBoer, Adam McKinney, they're having a little bit harder time because people keep popping out. I think that's Jason Papp, who's trying to get out there and help, but there's not much he can do as the 5th one here with 13 laps to go. So this line is having a little bit harder time. Eventually they will catch Patrick Clapp and them if they are careful. But what they've got right now is Zach Bowerman kind of working as a pit in that group. hopefully he tacks on, because the more cars you have in this chain, the more you're going to be able to push and get up to Patrick Clapp. And if we look at the lap times, they're about a tenth faster. Oh, they spin. Jeez Louise. Just as I talk about it, I saw a 3 there. I don't know who just spun. Zach Bowerman gets turned. I'm sorry, that was Josh Carver, I believe. Yep, that was the 33 of Josh Carver. If we've seen it once, we've seen it 1,000 times. Leading this pack gets a little bit squirrely, and just the Ford behind him pushes him through. Luckily not going to be too... Man, I'm just absolutely amazed at these machines and how well they're sticking down after they get turned. Take a look at the 33 of Josh Carver. Those flaps doing their job, slowing them down. You ever been on an airplane, watched it land? That's what they hit, those flaps. So that's good. That's very good for that second group. Now they're going to have the opportunity to come up there. Looks like no takers for pit road as of yet. They're going to let everybody get a little bit bunched up. While that's happened, let's see if we can pull down Josh Carver. I'm going to let him get down pit road first. Talk about iracingiflag. If you had iracingiflag and you were in that incident, you would know immediately that the yellow flag comes out. So once you program that thing and do what needs to happen with it, what it does is it reads iRacing's status and shows you a visual representation of it, which can really help you in the seconds it takes at Bristol, Daytona, any of those things. Having that extra visual indicator of what's going on track definitely helps these drivers know what needs to be done as far as slowing down or getting going, or if you get the green flag. Knowing exactly when the green flag goes out on a green flag dependent restart definitely helps you. So, anyways, that yellow flag spared you guys from more learning on my part. Let me know in the chat if that was helpful, hurtful, if you just want me to shut up for a little bit. Taking all suggestions. Speak now, forever hold your peace, as Patrick Clapp, Chris Worrell, James Lowe, and Dusty Burkhart decide not to come down pit road. Let's go ahead and talk with the number 33 of Joshua Carver. Josh, do you got me? There
Hello.
we go. Yeah, you got you now. So, Josh, I saw you got a little bit of bad touch there in the Ford, or not a Ford. That's a Hellcat.
But yeah, it was a Dodge. That's correct.
There you go, in the Dodge. Saw you got a little turned around, and I also saw that you were able to throw it right back. How are these things handling?
Oh man, they're a little twitchy out here. You get that air pocket behind another car like he was behind me right there, and you're off and on trying to push. You're not trying to hit a lot in the turns, man, and the air just it sucked me right around. I was able to slam it in third and right back into gas.
Hey, there you go. I've seen a lot of incidents, and I just want to talk about it just because of the way NASCAR is going and the safety of these drivers being so important, yourself included. When people are getting turned, those flaps are popping out and keeping everybody exactly where they want to be. Do you think you'd have saved that if it wasn't a next-gen car?
Oh no, no, definitely. I've had that same exact thing happen to me in a truck series, and by the time I get it gathered up, I normally slam the inside wall. These cars, man, if you can get it downshifted in time, you can really save these cars. I don't know if it's the wider tires or the wider car. I don't know what it is, but they are easier to save when you get spun.
Definitely. Well, the fighter jet flaps couldn't hurt anything. Is glad to see you didn't take any damage there. Got some fuel. Do you think? What do you think is going to happen here as they're going side by side? I'll let you go soon, but tell me about your prediction.
I think as of right here, I'm showing that I'm good to go on fuel. So I'm pretty sure everybody else out here should be that's in front of me. You'll probably have a really good finish here. This ought to be exciting.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you, Josh, and hopefully I'll talk to you at the end of the race, sir. Where do you want me to send it back to?
Hopefully, sir. Rev E Motorsports, sir.
There we go. Sending back to Rev E Motorsports with Adam McKinney, Edwin DeBauer, Jimmy Green, teammates there. Appreciate talking with Josh. And the Dodge rumors that NASCAR is going to bring back the Dodge as a manufacturer. It would not surprise me. Daytona 500 already sold out. The LA Coliseum battle, like it, love it, or indifferent, is happening. It's very popular there in LA. We've seen how well those that stuck with the sport, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, have done. What do y'all think? Who else do they need to bring in? Bring back the Plymouth in the NASCAR series. With a Chrysler. Let's do a Chrysler NASCAR PT Cruiser. I like it. So here we go. Patrick Clapp, Chris Worrell going to start on the 1-2. Pace truck being driven by Cliff Corvo, one of our producers, our training director at Sim Racing Media. Training up all the new guys. Get ready to take over these shows for us old guys. There's 9 laps to go. They're bunching them up in the back. They are ready to let these horses loose as 2 Fords lead them around, 2 Chevys behind them. Balls Energy running in third. James Lowe, Chris Worrell needs to get down to his teammate if he wants something to happen. Here we go. Green flag is out. You can hear it. What a jump the 6 gets. Now he's got to get through the gears. A little bit different than what they used to do, as already we have a caution. The number 3 car gets turned around. Ryan Decker, what happened there? Oh, big checkup. The 3 car goes around. Huge checkup. Just mark my words, folks. The margin of error in these cup cars on restarts just went through the roof with the sequential gearbox. If you don't know what I'm talking about, every other race car in the world uses a sequential gearbox, which means you go up, you go down. It goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, all the way through to 5 gears in these machines. So there's no clutch. Of course, there wasn't a clutch to begin with. It was a clutchless 4-speed. Believe. Could be wrong there. But no clutch in these things. It just hit the button and it goes up. Over here, you see what I'm talking about as we look around the cap. There you go. You see that post right there. He pops that once up, get into gear, and once back down to go down. So it's pretty simple there. But what that means for him is there's a lot less margin of error. A lot more margin of error, I'm sorry. Jeez, if I can gather myself up here. To where it's going to be harder on these restarts because you got to work through 5 gears. And on top of that, 20 cars have to be thinking the same way as far as what gears they're going to use, what RPM they're shifting at, etc., etc., etc. So if you are in a next-gen series, or watching the real races starting this Sunday at the Clash at the Coliseum, look at those restarts. As Josh Carver, Brian Tarnowski going to come down pit road. Those guys involved in that issue. Look at the damage on those machines just from that. Broadcaster's cursed catching Carver. That is super unfortunate. I didn't know he took that much damage, but let's take a look. The 33. Yep, there she goes, just like that, into the back of the 67. Got to get a better restart than that. Unfortunately, it happens. Luckily, it looks like the 33 had a fast repair. Team able to get out there and get some work on the car, but lights are still on, folks. Take a quick break here. Be right back with 6 laps to go. Looks like it's going to be an organic one with 4 laps to go. Once we get there, but stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, folks. Back here, growing green. We're going to go green with 4 laps to go. Chris Worrell, Patrick Clapp. Going to try it again. Luckily, Chris being scored. That's going to be a full restart, so they're not going to change anything, unfortunately. There we go. My apologies for that. Let me know in the chat who you got. I know we got some Jason Papp fans out there. Zorko Aravar, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Let me know who you're shouting out for. I know who I'm hoping wins, and that's Frank. There in the number 2 machine. Teammate here in Sim Racing Media, one of our awesome broadcasters. Speaking of awesome broadcasters, once this race finishes, head over to the Windy City 200. Kool-Aid Man Motorsports. That's what I believe it is having their league tonight in Chicagoland. Go check them out. Here we go. Chris Worrell, Patrick Clapp. ready to get rolling here with 4 laps to go. Once they come through the tri-oval, hopefully get a little bit better restart there in the back for them, as everybody is rearing to go. Because it's a balls 1-2 or on the top line. That's what they want to see. There they go. 6 Machine getting a great start, beating the leader to the line. That is allowed in NASCAR now. Not sure about the rules here, but that they did come out. NASCAR's okay with that. They say, hey, it's not that guy's fault if he gets a bad start. That's going to push Clapp all the way down, 3 wide all the way through this mug. Other than the top line staying at the preferred line, what a crazy situation this puts everybody in. As Chris Worrell, James Lowe, teammates. Oh, we turn into 12. 12 gets into the 2. Frank takes a race car to the face. In the 2 Machine goes missing. There he is on his roof. Very unfortunate. '67 Joe Gautier trying to get that thing back going. He has no rear bumper at all. It's going to be a chore driving that thing, but he's going to be... Oh, man, if he can get to the pits and he has no engine damage, that's going to be the fastest car on the track, folks. I hope he doesn't fix his damage. Just for curiosity's sake, I want to see how fast he goes as he's going through here. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a clue to you guys. If Joe Gautier doesn't have any engine damage, he has no drag on the back of that car. Nothing stopping him from going faster than everybody else on the track. I'm very interested in this, but let's take a look, my interest aside, on what happened there. So there you go. 12 just gets into the 67. Didn't know he was there. The 2-car Frank taking a shot. Where did Joe Gautier get in all this? There he was, a 67. The 2 Machine still going for a ride. 67, I would be very surprised. He doesn't have any damage in the motor. Let's go ahead and talk to 67 as he's coming down pit road. Getting some damage fixed. I want to chat with Joe. So, Joe, I hope I didn't catch you in any strategy. Can you talk to me for a second?
What's that?
I said, I hope I didn't catch you while you were talking strategy with your teammate. Do you have a second to talk?
Yeah, I do.
All right. How much required do we got on that machine?
4 minutes left. I think that was all my fault, guys.
Well, we can get to the accident later. I hope you can get out there because with no rear deck, you're going to be the fastest car on the track.
Oh, my rear deck's gone good, yeah.
Well, sir, just super speedway racing. I know we saw you get around there as we're 3 wide. Tell us about the top line being preferred here and if that's something you're used to.
I know, we're not used to that, but these cars changed all the drafting. That's where the fastest line is.
Yeah, definitely interesting move there. So, Joe, tell us who you got to shout out, as I think you're going to be in the pits for a while, but hopefully you can bring it around and give him a shot at overtime.
Yeah, I give a shout out to my teammate, Brian. Tarnowski. His wife's battling cancer, and God bless her. We have to say, pray for.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate that. We've been talking about it throughout the broadcast. A lot of support in the league, and hopefully you can get that thing out there and go help them win.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the interview, guys.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully we'll talk to one of you at the end of the race.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was Joe Gautier, Jawbone Motorsports. Up front, I think Joe is not a lap down. Joe able to get that thing out before they came around, as it's taking 2.5 minutes. We are headed to overtime. That was a brutal one, Zorku. Going to overtime, NASCAR overtime. What that means, if you are not familiar, if you are, you're going to hear it anyways. These guys are going to get 2 or 3 laps, 3 times around, so 2 laps, to make something happen. First time, they have a little bit of a mulligan. If there is a caution thrown before they get the one to go, the white flag, they will throw the caution, get them lined up, do it all over again. If the white flag is flown, the next flag ends the race. So if there's a big caution, a lot of people are injured, they have to throw that yellow. We've seen it a couple times in IRL NASCAR. Whoever's leading at the scoring box is going to be your leader for the race. We saw that a little bit. Chase Elliott earlier. Talladega as well. Once he hit that scoring box, he hit that first. That's why you run that race. But then they're going to the checker. This is iRacing. Nobody's going to get injured out there. They're going to let them wreck, let them get crazy, and go to the checker flag. Going to do that twice. If they can't get it sorted out after then, we're just going to end the race. Zorku. Appreciate you coming in today, sir. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and like the stream. Get it out to more people. One-man show over here. I need your affection and attention. Go ahead and hit that chat, hit that like, subscribe to Esports Broadcasting Network. Get racing like this 7 days a week, double headers all the way through. As Chris Worrell and James Lowe got the teammates 1 and 2. See how that's going to work out as the green flag is out. No big checkups there as they're drag racing. Gets a huge jump. Going to try and come down in front of Brandon Wilson. He's not going to let him. There he goes. Chris Worrell heading to the top. Preferred line farther back. Adam McKinney getting a little squirrely. 3 wide bottom line. Taking a little bit better action as I want to take a look at Joe Gautier. I believe he is not at full power because that machine could be up there. Dusty Burkhart, first time I've said his name in a while. Quickest mover today with 15 positions gained in the 69 machine. As it's Brandon Williams and Josh Carver, Dusty Burkhart, Ed DeBauer. That top line went away and it's not there anymore as they are gonna take the white flag this time around. Folks, next flag is going to end it here at Talladega. Brandon Wilson, Josh Carver, Dusty Burkhart, top line forming with Dusty. Ed DeBauer there in the 24 machine. Chris Worrell finding his way back in it. They're wrecking in the back. Huge accident involving Adam. Brian Tarnowski able to get through up front. They're turning up front. Jimmy Green. Dusty Burkhart. All those guys reckon they're still going to keep this thing going. Adam McKinney was the other one involved. So up front, sparks are flying. See if they can do it. Brandon Wilson got second last week, coming to first here at Talladega. They've got the front stretch to go. The builders thought it would be more exciting as that last pass, and it is. Ed DeBauer, Josh Carver going to race the line. They're wrecking behind him. 1 and 2. Ed DeBauer, Josh Carver, Brandon Wilson in third. After Chris Worrell and Jimmy Green get it bad at the checkered flag. This is why we watch Super Speedway Series, folks. Absolutely wild finish. Let's take a look at the final moments with Christobach. You see him pushing there. Decides, I've had enough. Gets out. Look at behind him. Chris Worrell thinking that they're going to go to the bottom. Believe the 23 was probably just happy with his position. Didn't know the plan. And that dodge. It's a dodge 1-2, folks. Ed DeBauer, Josh Carver. And then Brandon Wilson just getting lucky back there. Ryan Decker and Greg McConey round out your top 10. So we're going to talk to these guys. Start off with Brandon. As Brandon, congratulations on the third place. Talking to us again here in the booth. How are you doing, sir? Brandon, do you got me?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry.
No, you're good. Push to talk a bit, huh?
Yeah.
No worries. It happens every week. So, Brandon, congratulations. Talking to you again with the third place finish. What a finish that was.
Yeah, man. This this is the first race that I ran the next gen with this updated package, and it is insane out there. Definitely the runs are super fast. The racing's a lot better than it was before, a whole lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I was seeing that, and I was absolutely astounded that the top line was the preferred line, and if you actually drifted down, you were going to get passed on the high side. So tell us about what it was like adjusting to that.
Yeah, it's really when they get that top line running at the very top, it's just timing. You know, if you got enough cars to go with you, that's what we were running into. We just didn't have enough people going down, and everybody wanted to stay up at the top of the line because it was the fastest. So just, you know, getting those runs timed just right and having enough people pushing. You know, the middle line was going pretty good at the beginning. And then it just shifted up to the very top. And so that middle line just became the bottom line, and you just got smoked down there. So
definitely. Well, Brandon, again, congratulations on the third place finish. Who you want to shout out on that machine other than Chris Worrell for taking out half the field for you to get the third?
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. That was just crazy. I kept seeing him wrecking behind me there. But anyways, yeah, Circle B Diecast, ROWDY Energy, iracingiflag, buttkicker, Midwest Motor Customs, Jason for putting on a pretty good league as normal, and you guys are doing an awesome broadcast.
All right, Brandon. Well, we appreciate it, and go celebrate third place and have a good one, sir.
Thanks, man.
All right, next we got the 33 of Joshua Carver. Last time I talked to you, you wrecked the next lap. So luckily able to come through and get the second in the Hellcat. Tell us about what it was like seeing your teammate go high on you and leave you out there at the bottom.
I wasn't expecting him to do it. I could have put a block on him right there, but I didn't think he was going to do it. So I'll note that for the next time. But we done good together. He worked with me the whole race. He's the one that got me over here in this league racing here, and I really enjoy what these guys are doing. This was a lot of fun today.
Definitely, and those are the kind of finishes you're going to see from the Super Speedway Series. As absolute chaos in the rearview mirror. Were you just trying to stay with the teammate there and make sure?
Oh yeah, definitely. I had him, Jimmy Green, and Adam McKinney. The four of us were all Revvies Motorsports. So I had all four of them up there close to me. So yeah, that was the plan. Try to pick a teammate, stay close, see if we can be there at the end.
Definitely. Well, a lot of folks were there at the end. That doesn't mean they crossed the line. This was a whole wild racing. But again, congratulations on the second place finish. Who you want to shout out? And
Yeah.
for the
I'd like to give a shout out to Adam McKinney, Ed DeBoer, Jimmy Green, of course, my Red V Motorsports. This one's for my buddy Scrappy. He wasn't able to be here tonight, but this is put in the books for him. I'd like to give a shout out to all the wives that give us guys time to be able to get on here and do this.
Hey, you know what? This thing's crazy to come and do this hobby, so definitely appreciate all the wives and moms out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good shout out, Josh. All right, well, I'm going to let you go, man. Congratulations again on the 1-2 for Rev E Motorsports, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week, sir.
Hey, appreciate you, James. You have a good one, buddy. Appreciate what you do.
You as well, sir. All right, next we got Ed DeBauer, race winner, 1-2 for Rev E Motorsports. A new face here. What are you thinking?
Oh, this is fun. I'm glad we got hooked up with you guys here. We're having a great time with the league here, and Rev coming out 1-2. We almost brought in a third one there with Jimmy, but man, what a riot, man! Great race.
Yeah, so you're sitting in 4th place with the white flag coming out. Chris Worrell's up in front of you. The 69 gets stirred. Just absolute chaos led to you being behind the teammate, going for a 1-2 the other way. What made you decide to pop out and take the win there?
I kept bumping up against him. I was just going to push him, but then as I started to get to his rear bumper and everything, I'm like, man, I got this run. And I decided to pull out and take it. I feel bad for my teammate, but he would have done the same to me. Josh and I have been racing for a lot of years together, and I've lost one that way, so I had to take one that way.
Well, definitely. Well, you got the win, locked yourself into the playoff there. Luckily, 3rd place behind you got momentum kind of stalled out by some cars to the face. So no harm, no foul with the 1-2 at Rev. Tell us a little bit about the team and the formation and what you guys are trying to do here.
Well, we've a bunch of guys who have been racing for many years over on PS4s, and we made the move over to iRacing all together. We all ended up getting the machines, getting our setups and everything. We made the move over here as our Rev E Motorsports race team, and we saw an opportunity here to race with Greg and his awesome league that Greg and Jason, and all the guys over here saw this opportunity, and at the last minute tonight, I was able to get Jimmy and Adam McKinney in here with us, and again, we're just a bunch of guys out here trying to have a great time with a great league.
Definitely. Well, you're never going back, are you?
No, we're loving it.
PC all the way, but. Ed, man, what a time to show up. I know you were in the race last week, I believe, correct?
Yeah, I finished 3rd last week, and I couldn't get into Discord, and then it gave me a lockout for 10 minutes, and it was too late after the broadcast. So yeah, I brought home a 3rd place finish last week at Daytona, pushing two other teammates from another team to the 1-2 finish up there. Can't remember who they were, but yeah, it was a 3rd place finish brought home there at Daytona.
And after that race, I said, guys, we're waiting on Ed DeBauer, but you know what? He's going to win next week, so we'll talk to him then. No big deal. We'll catch him then.
Oh, well, hey, I guess that paid out. Things were meant to happen then, right?
There we go. Don't check that I said that. All right, Ed. Well, we appreciate you coming in. Tell us who you want to shout out before we let you go celebrate with the Rev teammates.
It's definitely the sponsors of the league with Circle B Diecast, ROWDY Energy, the iRacing iFlag, buttkicker, and Midwest Motor Customs. Shout out to those guys for sponsoring the league and giving us something to come out here together on a Friday evening and just have a great time together. Thank you to all my Rev E Motorsports teammates, those who are in the race here with me, and many more who are not in the league yet, but we're looking to get them in there. Also to my wife and my boys, shout out to them for giving me the time to come down here and do this. And I got to say this, good shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So thank you very much.
There we go. Well, appreciate you, Ed. Hopefully we'll talk to you again next week at the post race.
Thanks, James.
All right, so that was Ed DeBauer, your leader at the end of this thing. Wild ride, folks. We had a 1-2 last week with dudes, Now we got a new name in the game, Rev Motorsports. You better watch out for them as they score a 1-2 here at Talladega. With the results, we do have go through those real quick with you, let you get off to Sleepy Town. Ed Bauer in first, Josh Carver there in second, Brandon Wilson finishing third, Ryan Decker in fourth, Greg McConey in fifth, Patrick Clapp in sixth, James Lowe in seventh, Jimmy Green in eighth. Ninth is going to be Chris Worrell, Brian Tarnowski rounding out the top 10. Then we got David Kitts, Joe Gautier able to recover from that incident that brought out the overtime. He's going to be in 12th place. 13th, Austin Collins. Then we got Dusty Burkhart in 14th, Adam McKinney, another Rev Motorsports driver there in 15th, Zach Bowerman 16th, John Lumbombard, and 18th, Jason Papp. Unfortunately, not the night Jason wanted after his win last week. Nicholas Wing in 19th, Frank unfortunately gets involved, taken out on his lid, with 6 laps to go. Going to be scored in 20th, Marcus Adams in 21st, Shane Ward there in 22nd. Folks, we appreciate you sticking around. Head over, if you are wanting some more racing action, stay right here on Esports Broadcasting Network. Head over to our other show we got going on. Go ahead and bring you guys, tell you what we do. We have... get to it. The Windy City 200 at Chicagoland. One of our newest and youngest broadcasters over there who's absolutely killing it. Name escaped me. I think I just had a stroke. Joseph Lester. They're calling the Kool-Aid Monster Cup Series. They're on lap 48 of 134. So go check those guys out. Do appreciate you sticking around. And as always, see you next week.